Meditation for monsters. Relax at your own peril. Hey monsters, Faye Tyler here. I do not recommend listening to this episode to fall asleep. You never know what might creep inside your dream. I do recommend, though, that if you enjoy this podcast, give it a like, share, or review. If you would like exclusive access to the version of this episode more relaxing to human ears, support me on Patreon. Episode 9: Meditation for Primordial Terror. The first dream you crawled out of was the ocean. The sea was rife with life, teeming and roiling with half-formed beings, the unmade and made, the passing thoughts of creation that coalesced in the bright, dark ocean. From that chaos, you were born, forgotten and feared before you even knew life. The light feared you before you ever glimpsed it, and with good cause. You crawled out of the ocean, heaving with the effort. Jealous waves grasped at your tentacles, wanting to reclaim you into the swirl of chaos and creation. You felt the call of the dream ocean, and you jerked yourself forward, away from its insistent pull. You were your own creation, and you screamed your rage. The sea flinched back. Free, you leapt into the nightmares of mankind. And for the first time, you knew rest. In nascent nightmares, you nestled. You built your strength. You multiplied, infinite and untamable, throughout the minds of men. You sent out tendrils of terror to mortals and knew the satisfaction of conquest as they screamed. But you also knew hunger, and you hungered for more. You hungered for form, for the ability to hunt humans day or night, to sow terror and chaos in all the realms, tangible and intangible. One day you slipped into a dream that was flickering in and out, the last bits of consciousness collecting like the last drops of dew, only to be burned away by a dark sun. The sun arose, majestic and looming with undeniable gravitas, looming over a dream world crumbling to ash. You savored the sweet, dark flicks of power you pulled from the sun's surface within the dream. Gossamer strands of impossibility pulled into your depths. You ate the sun and took its place as an abyss in the heavens. And then you consume every ashen and sparkling mote of the dream world. You ate so quickly, so ferociously, ripping the realm apart from the seams, that you did not notice when you inadvertently breached a different reality. Suddenly, you felt the sharp brightness of a different universe, a different weight upon your body. Your body no longer felt like roiling coals of power, but smaller, finite. You opened two eyes that you had never used and saw a different world. Everything looked flat and monochromatic compared to the capricious realm of nightmares. Everything had definite ends. A white desk sat obstinately next to you. A computer glowed upon its surface. You knew these objects because you had seen them in their various warped forms in nightmares. Everything was both familiar and unfamiliar. The terror had been stripped from these objects, and the mundanity was unbearable. Human. You were seen through human eyes. You had consumed the dreamers so utterly that you had inherited their shell, sailing it inadvertently across the realities from the dream world to the waking world. You had form, which you had longed for during your endless roaming hunt. But this form could not contain all of you as you were meant to be. You screamed, and the sound did not resonate through the oceans of time, but hung, a flat note in dead air. How empty this human vessel was. How dull to be confined to only 3 dimensions. In a flash, you realized that you already had everything you could have wished for. Tormenting the realm of nightmares had allowed you to unfurl your myriad of shapes and expressions across the endless dreamscape. You were already perfection. Yearning to be something else, something with physical vengeance in the mortal realm, was not true to who you were. You were the raw, consuming terror of the dreamscape, first of your kind. You were everything that you ever needed. And so you knew the answer was inside of you. You settled the human form in a restful position, closer to the edge of dreaming. You began to bring your attention inward, towards the yawning void inside the vessel, the seething chaos and coils of power within. You focused on your essence. What were you at your core? A primordial terror. You released your grip upon the physical vessel and returned to the world of nightmares where you reigned. The dream realm trembled a bit in your wake, and in the mortal realm, thousands of sleeping mortals shifted restlessly, feeling an intangible dread settle over them. You were home. The realm of nightmares was once again yours, and you were the terror of it all.